Since Alex Pereira joined the UFC, there has been lots of speculations about a possible trilogy between the former two-division Glory kickboxing champion and Israel Adesanya. However, the outcome of the UFC 276 has brought this matchup closer than we expected. Will Adesanya be able to avenge his kickboxing loss? Or will Pereira be the one to knock out the middleweight champ? Stay tuned and ensure you watch till the end as we find out what Stephen Thompson and Dana White thinks about the matchup. Although Izzy defeated Jared Cannonier at the UFC 276, the fans weren't too pleased with the fight. On the other hand, Pereira was able to deliver a good show for the audience by knocking out Sean Strickland. After the main event, Adesanya called out Pereira for a fight, and Thompson promised that his championship bout with Israel Adesanya will be very interesting.
Two great coaches, two great teams, and I'll tell you one thing, they had an excellent game plan. It was really hard to get my follow-ups going, my second phases going, because they had a good game plan, and Jared is a fortitude in his mind. We know who's next, that Poha. Trust me, the first time I told you, it was an error on my part spamming right hands, and that was in kickboxing. It's easy to knock out the homeboy, what's the hillbilly's name? Because he was parrying the jabs. But like I said at the press conference, next time I put you on skates, you're gonna get frozen, like Elsa. I'll leave it at that.
While speaking about the main event via the aid of a Portuguese translator at the evening's post-fight press conference, Pereira noted that he did his part, but it was a fight that not only didn't excite me, but it also did not excite the crowd. Thompson further added that, "I was very sad to see that, so I hope when we fight he does a better fight than that. But for sure, I'm going to make him fight to give a better show to the crowd." Pereira has remained undefeated since joining the UFC in November 2021 and is currently at 3-0, with two of his wins coming by way of a knockout. By defeating Sean Strickland, he has been able to secure his position as a title contender. "Whenever he's ready, I just finished my fight, I'm fine," Pereira said. "So I could start training tomorrow. I'm going to take 2 weeks to enjoy my life a little bit, but whenever he thinks he's ready to go, I'm good." Pereira feels he has all it takes to take out the current middleweight champion. There are still several other MMA fans that do not agree with him on this. Considering the fact that his experience in MMA is low, this was initially one of the major reasons why Izzy had previously refused to fight with him. "A lot of people talk, especially fighters, they think they have a chance over me, so it feels good to prove that because at the end of the day, it's what the people want," Pereira said. "People want to see knockouts. People want to see the style that I fight. People want to see whoever is in front of me getting knocked out, and that's what I bring for them." Prior to the UFC 276, the UFC president Dana White stated that Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya will get to meet if they both defeated their opponents at the UFC 276. This was exactly what happened at the UFC 276. Adesanya earned a unanimous decision win over Jared Cannonier, while Pereira successfully knocked out Sean Strickland in round 1. The two rivals met for the first time in April 2016 at the Glory of Heroes kickboxing promotion, when Pereira won by a unanimous decision. Pereira and Adesanya met for a second time in 2017, and this time around, Pereira used his left hook knockout to win the bout. With more and more people criticizing the performance of the middleweight champion against Jared Cannonier at UFC 276, Dana White, who was on vacation during the event, alluded to the fact that the fight wasn't really as memorable as most people expected it to be. However, the UFC president was also quick to add that Cannonier didn't really put up a good fight either. At the post-fight conference, White said that he won. "I don't know if it was the performance that he wanted to give or that he was selling leading into that fight." He also added that, "The other thing is, I don't think his opponent was very aggressive either. It takes two to make a great fight." White also claimed that the forthcoming fight between the champ and Pereira would take a different route. "It will far exceed the expectations of everyone and will come with memorable highlights. It won't happen in the next fight," White said. "When you are sitting here in my position, you can't give too many guarantees. I can't say, stylistically, on paper this should be, or we feel this is going to be. I guarantee you, I absolutely positively guarantee you that the next fight that Israel Adesanya fights will be absolutely bad nuts."
It won't happen in the next fight.
I'm gonna ask your thoughts on that.
There aren't, when you're sitting here in my position, you can't give too many guarantees. You know, I could say stylistically on paper, this should be, we feel this is going to be, I can guarantee you, I absolutely positively guarantee you that the next fight that Israel Adesanya fights will be absolutely bad nuts.
Knowing the history between the duo, no one can hardly contend with Dana White's view. White has a record of being very ruthless when it comes to predicting and giving his views about fights, and the build-up to the fight has been even more interesting. In addition to what Dana White has said concerning this epic fight, Stephen Thompson has also given us some hint into what we should expect from Izzy and Pereira after analyzing their previous kickboxing bouts. Thompson noted that both guys haven't changed a lot. Thompson also agreed that the two fighters need to meet again for the third time to settle their score. Thompson went ahead to state that a lot of years have gone by since they last fought in the kickboxing ring. While speaking on a recent episode of his Technique Tuesday show, Thompson took some time to check out the first two meetings between Izzy and Poten. According to Thompson, Pereira might have won the two meetings on record, but he feels like the first fight should have ended in Adesanya's favor. The first fight took place in China in April 2016, and during the fight, Pereira was trying to get power shots while Adesanya, on the other hand, was keen on picking his spots. Thompson also added that Adesanya pulled away in the third round and the judges were wrong to have scored the fight in Pereira's favor. "I did not see that at all," Thompson said. "I did not see Alex winning that. That was definitely an Izzy fight. What were the judges looking at? I have no idea."
That's gotta go to Izzy. Gotta go to Izzy. I did not see that at all. I did not see that at all. I did not see Alex winning that. That was definitely an Izzy fight. Izzy being respectful. Izzy thought he won it, but that was definitely an Izzy fight. What were the judges looking at?
A rematch was scheduled between the pair in March, and this time around the venue was in Brazil. According to Thompson, Adesanya was leading the fight at the beginning before he was later knocked out by Pereira. This is the only time that the current UFC middleweight champion has ever been knocked out in a professional bout. In the middleweight division, Adesanya has remained undefeated. He throws that 1 and 2, and if you notice, it was a real tight left hand, Thompson said, breaking down the ending sequence. Izzy put his hand up to block, but instead of coming right onto the side, it became more of a straight in, which hit him right on the jaw, putting him out. Speaking about what has changed about both fighters since their days in kickboxing, Thompson noted that Adesanya has gone ahead to amass a lot of experience in the UFC and presently holds a record of 23-1 in MMA, while Pereira, who recently parted ways with Glory Kickboxing, is at 3-0 in the UFC, after being a champion in 2 divisions in the Glory promotion. Both guys haven't changed a lot dramatically when it comes to their stand-up, Thompson said. "This is MMA. Anything can happen, anybody can look for a takedown. You've also got to go into the fight thinking that as well. You've got to be prepared for that. Do I think Alex Pereira is going to look for a takedown? No. I think this fight's going to stay standing. I think it's going to be a classic Muay Thai fight, including the elbows and more knees. I think it's going to be a great fight. No matter what, I want to see this fight. Who else is Izzy going to fight but Alex Pereira? These guys have history together. This is the only guy to put Izzy to sleep. I think they've got to run it back a third time. Third time's the charm. Izzy's got to win it. That's how I see it." Since the UFC president has spoken, we can be rest assured that a fight between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya is going to happen sooner than we expect. A fight between these two rivals is definitely something to look forward to, considering the build-up to the fight. Will Pereira be able to dethrone Adesanya? What do you think of the fight between Adesanya and Cannonier? You can let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and share this video. You can also subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications for more updates from us. See you in the next video. Goodbye.